All
Worth
right.
it.
How would I start? All right, I'm going. Welcome, everybody. This is Derek Rise back to you with another video. I got my boy Zach here. He is the host of Talking in Circles podcast. You guys probably haven't heard of that yet because it's fairly new, but he will be doing sports content, fantasy football, and fantasy sports content as well to add to that. And not only that, he also will be doing mental health and touching on multiple other stuff. But I can't
Yep.
wait for the future episodes, and hopefully I will be a guest. I know I'm going to be a guest on there. We'll talk some music and stuff like that. It'll be a good time. But anyway, Zach,
What
I
about
we talk pretty frequently, but I will ask how you're doing, so for the people in the back, they know how you're doing.
there's people behind you?
My dog is,
I'm doing good, man. I'm off for the next 3 days. Life's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Other than your mustache getting in your mouth, you know.
Move it out of the way so you can see my luscious lips.
Yeah, we can't all have it made. I wish I could have some good facial hair. But
I don't really have much.
I do like the background. I was saving it to talk about it a little bit, but I remember I see you with Adam Thielen in the top left corner there. I have a picture exactly like that. That was a fun time. You brought me there, and he's actually
Oh,
not that tall.
this one?
Wait, is that who's that?
That's me holding my buddy's kid at his football game.
Oh yeah,
You
that
can't see me and Thielen, but me and Thielen on the other side of this Kobe plaque I just got when I was out at the NBA Hall of Fame.
yeah. Tell us about that. How was your trip anyway? Where was it at? And like, you know,
I went to me, my girlfriend Rebecca, and my oldest son, Asher. We all went out to Vermont, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire for like 2 days. Mostly drive time, but it's beautiful out there if you ever get the chance to go out there. Um, it's cool seeing like cities out there that were made 150 years before the Declaration of Independence was ever a thing. I think the oldest town I saw was like 1636. Pretty cool. NBA Hall of Fame, though, if you ever get the chance, anybody that is a sports fan, I wanted to go there since I was a kid,
yep.
was probably one of the coolest things I've ever done. I felt like a kid again, you know.
What was
Uh,
like the highlight of going there to you? Like, what stuck out the most?
so it's a super hands-on experience. So you got 3 levels to the building. The top 2 levels are all sports memorabilia, and it's a sphere, right? So it's like you walk in a circle, the 2 levels, and then on the very bottom floor um, is an open gym. So like it's a full court. They got the NBA 3-point line. I'll send you some pictures after this, or you can pull them from what
Which
I posted on
which
Facebook.
you had a hard time hitting NBA threes. We all know that.
Look at me, can't guard.
Well, since yeah, oh my God, my if this happens, just let me know because I'll have to this
Oh,
you
that's
know
fine. You're gonna see me
whoever
swatting at flies. I'm in my garage.
whoever watches my videos, they know that I go through this quite a bit, so they're used to it. But since
He's
we're talking
schizophrenic.
about sports, we'll just hit you right off the bat with the shit. LeBron or Jordan,
LeBron.
and why? I'm with you though, but
Are you though? I thought you'd say like Dirk or Steve Nash.
I did like them.
LeBron has been my favorite, dude. I mean, like I was a little young. I'm 32 now, but saw the ass end of Jordan's career, I guess, but don't really remember it. So,
Yeah, same here.
um,
So we kind of have a biased take on that, but at the same time, I think with sports, I think the ceiling always gets raised. Like every year, it gets better and better. And then with people like the likes of Curry, they come in and then they change the whole game, and the game's totally different than it used to be. You know, so I think I don't know. Like Jordan, I just wish we could like take a young Jordan and throw him in this era, and a young LeBron throw him in this era. See what happens. It's like the only way to really do it.
I did hear a rumor, once upon a time that there was footage of old Jordan playing high school LeBron, and Michael Jordan didn't want tape release. So I'm
Really?
assuming, yeah, I'm assuming LeBron kicked
Mm,
his ass. I'm sure there's
probably.
no footage out there, so it's just all hearsay. But I'd take LeBron over Jordan.
I
But
do want
Jordan
to.
is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. No, he's crazy though. I like the mentality. Same with like Kobe's mentality. I like the killer instinct. You know what I mean? I think.
All three of those guys have it.
Yeah.
There's only been there's really only been one conversation where when you think about um, championship rings, when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to LeBron and Michael, Michael is 6 for 6. He never lost. LeBron was what 4 for 10, but he went to like how many straight appearances? I mean, I swear since the year I graduated high school till the time I was like almost 30, he was in the NBA Finals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I might be exaggerating a little bit, but I watched this one. I don't know if it was like an Instagram reel, but it was a guy interviewing this dude on the Jordan and LeBron debate, and the guy's answer was, "Say you're taking a chick home. Would you rather go 6 for 6 or 4 for 10?" That's
Mm.
about it.
Yeah, that's.
But other than that, that's the only one.
Yeah, back to like the mentality thing though. Like, uh, there's another guy. He's not a basketball player, but Floyd Mayweather. He kind of was like a Kobe, because Floyd. Like he would go to the club, and they would be everybody around him, his peers and stuff, would be partying, getting all fucked up and shit, and he would be drinking water. And then not only that, he would like run from the club to his house, and then get up that morning and go to the gym the next day too. You know?
Floyd Mayweather. I guess I don't
Yeah.
know a whole lot about boxing.
No,
I mean, I
he's.
know he's
I don't either, but like I just know like that mentality is just crazy. You know? Kobe
yeah.
was
Some
like that
people
too. He would
very
skip out on going out like after a win or something. His teammates would be celebrating, and he would be in the gym. You know?
very few people have that it factor.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe, Kobe, LeBron, Jordan, Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali. Those type of people all got it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna hit you. We'll veer off sports a little bit, but like I wanted to ask you this because I'm actually curious. If you could watch any artist, like musical artist, perform dead or alive, who would it be?
Ah, gosh. The 27 Club. There's quite a few artists. I mean, not even just that, but if we're, I don't know, Mac Miller. I've never been to a concert,
Mm-hmm.
but when Mac
That's
was
my
gonna
top.
come,
That's my top for sure.
yeah, I mean, it'd probably be Mac. He is amazing, legendary.
Yep.
There's a couple, man. Like Mac would be at the top. I would have liked to see Elvis Presley,
Oh
Johnny
hell yeah.
Cash, Kurt Cobain.
You're a big Johnny Cash fan for sure. You
I
know,
am.
you would like to see Bohemian Rhapsody live,
Oh,
probably.
dude. Yeah, I'd probably be on stage. I'm sure they'd point me out and be like, "That guy needs to come up here."
If you're gonna
Or
spew, spew into this. Oh shit.
I can't believe that's been like almost 15 years ago, probably.
What
That
is?
that when we lived together. I mean, not quite 15 years, but that's when we watched that
Pretty much.
Wayne's World episode
Yeah.
at the trailer. Yeah, you're gonna spew in this.
Yeah, that's classic. Um,
Those were the days, man.
mm,
Those were the. I had so much fun in that trailer house, but it was also super shitty.
yeah. Well, sometimes, you know, this needs a focus. Sometimes the best times are the worst times in a weird way, you know? Sometimes when I look back, I'm like, "Oh, I missed that era of my life." And then I think about it more and I'm like, "That was some of the worst times of my life." But for some reason, like I want to go back to that and live in that moment again. It's really weird, you know.
I think it's just because, like, sorry to hear cars driving by, but
I don't hear it.
I don't know. Those are the like your passes. I mean, I guess what makes you who you are.
But we
I
still
wouldn't,
had good
I wouldn't
times,
be worrying that with the days with you, the North Carolina days.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah, going
people
to
around.
Carolina, that's a highlight right there, you
Oh
know?
my God. Do you remember when I was driving my little Ford Taurus
Yeah,
with no
so
with no heat and scraping the inside of the window so I can drive?
yep, so, like, it
Oh,
was the middle of winter, and it was below 0, I believe. It was cold, you know?
it was cold. It was cold.
We packed Yada, which is a bigger dude. We had Zach in there. We had me in there. We had all our stuff in there. I don't know how we did it. And we had 2 dogs.
2 dogs, Snoop and Wiz.
And no heat. And we're scraping
No
we had to
heat.
stop and scrape the window here and there, and
I think we had to do that all the way from Minnesota to by the time we might have hit like the edge of Tennessee.
yeah, it
So
was
for like
something like
four,
that.
probably like 3 or 4 states that we drove through.
Yeah, I just remember like being I was freezing my ass off, and then we hit one of the states, got out to the gas station, and I just stepped out and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's warm here," you know?
Oh, dude. I mean,
Uh,
like I miss it down there at times. Like the weather, the food. Oh my God, the food.
yeah.
The food's better down there. It's unhealthy, but it's so much better.
The $1 million burger,
Oh, gosh, what was that place called?
Melvin's, I think.
Melvin Burger. Yep.
Yeah, Melvin
I
Burger.
mean,
I remember you were talking this place up, and oh, if you guys don't know, in the South, they're really big on coleslaw and stuff like that. And I'm not a huge coleslaw fan, but
and
like,
chili, and
and
chili
chili.
on it.
But yeah, on their burgers, this Melvin Burger, they put coleslaw and chili on it, and it is the best burger I've ever ate in my life, probably. Like, I miss it so much.
Yep, and we were broke. I mean, we were young kids when we
Oh yeah.
young adults when we moved out there. We went through this line, we got some burgers, and then we went out to our car, and I think we found like 18 bucks in quarters, and we brought that all in and bought a bunch more burgers.
Yeah, we
They're
got
only like
they were
$2 burgers.
yeah, they were cheap burgers too, you know. And not only that, it was worth the wait because if you ever been there, it's a long line every time. So we went back into that line again and just waited, and it goes fast too.
Yeah,
It's
like by the
faster
time you
than
pay,
any fast
things
food.
made.
Yeah, they're already like, here you go, here you go, here you go. Like I don't know, it's crazy.
Oh, I kill for a burger. One of
Good
those burgers.
times. Um, I remember me and Zach got out of the place that we were living in because it wasn't the ideal situation. We moved to this trailer outside of Elizabethtown, North Carolina,
Yeah, I
and
think it was Lisbon, right? Was it Lisbon that we moved to?
uh, maybe yeah,
I think it was just an unincorporated area.
yeah, it was just out in the dingweeds of Carolina, and it was just such a weird experience. But I remember Zach would be working. I think he worked at a furniture place selling furniture. I was laid
Bag
off, so I
country.
got unemployment, and I had nothing to do. We had no internet, no nothing out there. So I'd be bored, and I I went into the backyard to smoke a cigarette, and I realized that there was like a huge snake, um, like like slithering under the deck, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? That thing was huge. I couldn't see the head because
Yeah,
it was under this AC that was probably like it looked like 8 feet away from me, and then its tail was still under the deck, and I'm just like,
yeah.
what in the world? But that gave me an idea, and that idea was to start carving sticks and shit and go snake hunting. Looking back at it, not my brightest
I
idea.
remember I pulled up into the yard and you were on the front deck sharpening a stick. I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing?
And I
But
by that
I
time I already
remember,
had 2 snakes down too.
I remember my cousin, rest in peace, Andrew, across the street,
Yep.
had said that there was a 9 foot female rattlesnake on the property somewhere, and I'm pretty sure that's the one that was wrapped around the AC unit.
Yeah.
But you can't kill rattlesnakes down there because I think they're endangered.
Yep. Which I didn't kill a
But
rattlesnake. Just gonna put that out there. They were chicken snakes or some shit.
yeah,
I'm
they were
pretty
chicken
sure.
snakes,
But luckily,
non-venomous.
because
But
there is another thing too. Water moccasins are a big thing over there. I look back at it, how dumb I was as a 18-year-old kid, where like I'm home
God, were you really 18? Were you 18 when
18,
you moved in?
18, 19 years old probably, yeah.
God, yeah. I was. I think maybe I had just turned 20 or 21. I don't remember. No,
I
No, I was
don't.
21. I think I went there.
Here's a good way to tell. We didn't go drinking at bars or anything really. So I probably
It was
was.
a dry. It was a dry county. Remember?
Oh, that's what it
We,
was. Yeah, we had to
yeah,
go to
we
a different county and buy some
the
40s
ABC.
and shit.
Oh, dude, I remember when we bought that 12 pack, or maybe it was, I'm pretty sure, maybe it was more than 12 pack of that Milwaukee's Best Ice, and we
Oh
just
yeah.
got trashed at the house. That was probably one of the worst hangovers ever.
Yeah, off a
Or
12 pack
or
too.
Maynard. Remember when we went to that Maynard's place? It was
Oh, we
bring your
did,
own
yeah.
bottle.
Yeah. So I was allowed to drink a little bit, or I probably wasn't old enough, but I did. I don't know if I should say that, but anyway, yeah. Um,
Didn't we celebrate your 21st birthday down there before you moved back?
that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe I was like 20 and then 21 I turned. Yeah.
and
'Cause I
we're
remember
probably
you
21.
surprised me with like a party, which you're always good about that kind of shit. Me, I don't think like that, but you're just such a fucking you're just the dude, you know what I mean?
You're,
You're
you're
like,
my boy.
yeah, that it was so crazy too. Nobody's ever really did that too, so but it was fun. I remember back to that Milwaukee Best stuff. I think we somehow traded some weed or something for a oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But this is way back in the day, you know what I mean? But anyway, we got a jar of moonshine
Oh,
and
that's rough.
yeah. Yeah, we got a jar of moonshine and that shit. I don't know. It would have made Everclear look like a wine cooler.
Oh
You
my!
know.
It was so potent you could light it on fire.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So potent.
It
But
was crazy.
one of the best stories I think we have, since we're just gonna go down that route, the the white horse that we
Mm.
met. Remember
Mm-hmm.
that? Oh,
I'll tell the story. You know,
go
and
ahead.
I'm only gonna say I'll just say it was me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was you. It
We'll
wasn't
keep it
me.
clean. But I think like the past stuff, it is what it is. We can bleep out whatever you want to. But um, so we used to play basketball at in town, and how many miles away was town?
From when we lived in, God, what was that town called that we Harold? Was it Harold?
Yeah,
Right?
it was Harold's. Yeah, small
I'd
little.
say from the house to the basketball court was probably like at least 3 or 4 miles
Yeah, and I don't know why, but we made that journey of a walk. We had your vehicle and shit, but we
with your broken debit card. No, because my stepdad
yeah.
shattered my windshield.
Oh,
Remember
that's
that?
why. So you didn't want to get like pulled over or anything like that. Um, Probably didn't have insurance.
I actually don't think I did, to be honest.
I actually
I
think we
don't think
made
I
that
did.
trip with no insurance or anything like that, but that's how it was, you know, we're youngins.
I was a broke ass,
Yeah, me too.
young adult.
hmm Definitely in a lot better of a spot, but those are like the memories that are made. But anyway, we would travel to this basketball court to go play some basketball, and on the way back or on the way there, I don't remember, but I was like, I need some fucking weed. And I got this number to this guy or whatever, and he said, "I'll meet you here." So we go to this spot, and we just see this white horse, this black man on a white horse coming up to us, just trotting, just like it was something out of a movie, dude. Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I was only in Carolina, dude. But anyway, this guy pulls up and he's like, "You guys looking for the weed?" I was like, "Yeah." And yeah, I literally exchanged my money for the weed to this black dude on a white horse, and it was just crazy.
That's how they probably did it back in the 1800s.
Yeah, that
Get on
was
your boat.
something. I would have never thought that too, you know. But
Oh man, that was probably one of the wildest things.
mm,
Or the trip we took to um, when we got picked up that one time.
yeah.
The,
But
the
oh,
catfishing story.
yeah, so Zach got catfished back in the day.
Uh,
Um we we
social
were
media.
at one point there we were just like, well, a lot of the times we were bored, but we always tried to find some kind of fun. But Zach, I don't know if it was on like a dating app or whatever it was, ends up finding this chick or whatever, and Zach always has the moves and shit like that to where
I don't.
well, you could get people to like just do whatever. Like they drove like 45 minutes
At the
from
crime, not persuading anybody.
yeah, yeah. You don't persuade. Like you're just like smooth with the words, you know. But you tell this
And I say,
this
it's pretty
chick
fun.
like, hey, I'm in Harrell's, Carolina, like North Carolina, and she was in Wilmington, which is like 45 minutes away or something like that. You got her to come pick us up, and she had a friend with her and stuff like that. And we got in the vehicle, went with these random chicks
To Wilmington.
to Wilmington, yeah. And that was
Yeah.
it was funny because like Zach like was like she does not look anything like the picture.
I was like,
Oh
oh, that
shit,
was a bad idea. I
that
should
was
have kicked
funny.
him out.
I don't know what I can say, but like this is like the past. We're like whatever. So like Zach was like, I didn't fuck her. I just got my dick sucked.
Oh God, yep,
Oh, that
yep.
was funny, dude. What else?
Wasn't my best life choice,
Yeah.
but
I remember that's when like was very new to making music and stuff. There was a little shack in the back 40, you know, and I would go over there, just make music and like just I don't know, just in this random wooden shack. Could have been snakes in there and stuff cuz something like in Carolina, you can find it's not rare to find a snake behind your fridge or something in your house, you know. That
they're
happens all the
they're
time.
notorious to get in between trailer house walls
Mhm.
and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that. That's how you cover your house in balls, and that keeps the snake and mice away.
yep.
They say,
Mothballs smell like fucking shit too, dude.
oh my God. The worst thing though, do you remember the sand fleas?
Yeah. Yeah, you
And
could see those
yeah,
things jumping on your
um,
dogs and shit. You couldn't control them. They're everywhere.
no, I had to. I think I was bombing the house. I swear I was bombing that house like every week or every 2 weeks because it was just
You do
such a bad area.
yeah, I was infested.
But like
On
where that
this
area,
oh, what were you
where
saying?
that area, yeah, where that area is in North Carolina. I don't know if you know this, Derek, but that part of North Carolina used to be the ocean. So that's why the grass is so sandy,
Oh
super
yeah.
sandy grass. Because how
Mhm.
come there's such an infestation of the sand fleas?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Back on the
But I
snake
love to go.
topic though. I think you have a story or maybe two of them of like water moccasin accident or something, you know.
I got one for sure. And this is just a story told to me by my mom. So they lived in that trailer house.
Yep.
When I was before I was even born, that trailer's been on the property that long.
Like the second one that we lived in, right?
Yeah, the one
Yeah,
that
that
you
one.
were on this porch sharpening the spear.
Mhm.
So on that deck, fucking 40 years ago or whatever it was. Um, my uncle Cody was real little, so I wasn't born yet. But Cody was a little kid and he was opening up that front door of that trailer house to go out. There's two water moccasins that are about 8 foot long, my mom said. They were just sunbathing on the porch. And my mom just saw it out of the corner of the eye because Cody was gonna step outside. He didn't really, didn't know any better. He's a little kid. My mom grabbed him and threw him onto my grandma who was sleeping on the couch. And then those
Oh.
little water moccasins took off.
Yeah, and he was really close. And the small ones I heard are actually worse
Yeah, because
to
they
an
can't
extent.
control their venom when they bite.
Yeah. And
And they had ground
wasn't
roots
there
too.
another one too? Wasn't there like a story about like like somebody was trying to talk you into jumping into the river or the
Oh,
lake?
no, no, no. Oh, now I remember what you're saying. I don't know if those were water moccasins. They probably were. But my dad told me a story as well that he had a friend that they were jumping into the river. I think the Cape Fear River, and he had a friend that jumped in and just happened to jump in a spot where a bunch of water moccasins were breeding in the water or something, is what he said. And when he came up, he was dead. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah,
There
yeah, I
was
forgot about that one.
There's actually a story similar to that when I was born. I was born in South Carolina, so this happened in South. This is North, that we're talking about. But in South Carolina, my dad told me a story when we lived there that not too far away, somebody actually dove into a nest of water moccasins and stuff like that. The thing is, my advice, just don't go swimming there unless it's a pool. I would never do it. What's that
God,
what's that river that went
that's a different breed of humans down there, man. Instead of deer crossing signs down there, there's alligator crossing signs.
mm,
And this was after I think this might have been after you left. I was driving home and here comes this skater. I see an alligator crossing sign. He goes from the swamp. I mean, he maybe like 6 foot long. I mean, he wasn't small. Goes across the road and into the other side of the lake where look over and there's people swimming.
oh my God.
And they're aware of this. Like,
They just didn't care. They're just
no,
used to them. Yeah, it's weird.
they're different. That's a different breed of humans down there.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't catching me if I go in the ocean, I'm not going further than my knee. That's if I go in.
I'll go a little further than that, but those waves do hit you hard when it's wavy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and they suck you out, man.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Not me. They ain't getting me.
What's that river that went through Elizabethtown?
That's the Cape Fear River.
That is the Cape Fear. So that river is like literally it looks like a mud puddle. That's how it's not you can't see it through it or anything. That's all I remember. I was like, I would never go in that. People swim in that thing?
Yeah, dude, or at least uh parts of it. Yeah.
Literally looked like something straight out of the Amazon, you know?
Well, they filmed movies on that river too. I don't know if it was.
It's a pretty
I don't
famous
remember. I'd
river.
have to ask my dad. I'll have to ask my dad.
Hmm.
But yeah, they filmed some movies off the Cape Fear River over by man, I can't even think of a town. It'll
Yeah.
come to me. But that was probably one of the worst and best parts of my life was living down there. I got to experience having a relationship with my dad for a short time. I
Yeah.
didn't meet him till I was 13.
And then
So I
you,
spent
even after you
time.
met him, it was like you guys weren't that close for a while, and I got to see you
It was
kind
like
of like become close, and that was actually really cool. You guys
yeah,
had more in common than you guys really probably thought too,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was like just crazy.
I think our perverted personalities are probably genetic. So
Yeah, it
sorry.
is. I realized that. I remember I asked him where what did I ask him? He was on the
Always like
tractor.
yeah,
He's on the tractor driving by and I asked him something and he stood up and grabbed his nuts. He's like, "These nuts."
yeah, like something like you're not expecting his old ass to say that.
Hmm. One thing
Um,
is like one thing I respect about you, you had not the best childhood growing up and stuff like that, but I think, dude, I gravitate to motherfuckers that had a shitty or a harder life for some fucking reason because I think those are some of my favorite people, you know?
there's probably more honest people too. I would
Yeah,
guess I think.
yeah.
They kind of know what life's about. They weren't trust fund babies and had everything handed to them on a silver platter.
Yep.
It's, some people got to. Most people have to bust their ass.
Yeah, and I would say I'm grateful, although my life wasn't totally perfect. I don't think anybody's is. I had some stuff like younger and stuff like when I was younger, but I grew up in a small town in Sabika, so um, it wasn't that bad. We weren't rich or we didn't have that much money when I was really young, but
Mm-hmm.
you moved around and like really didn't know what school you would be going to like the next year to come and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I wanted you to tell some stories and stuff like that. Um, do you have any nice ones off or good ones off the top that's like crazy or anything like that that people might be like interested in hearing?
Uh,
It can be ones that I've heard or if there's
I
something I
mean,
haven't heard then that'd be nice too, but
so I think I was about 7 or 8. I was in like first or second grade when I was living up in Bemidji. And it was right around the time my mom and my stepdad, so my four siblings that I have under me, their dad, um, had just gotten into hardcore drugs and got in with like um, the native mobs and stuff up there. And there was one time I was with my mom and my stepdad at this lady's house in Cass Lake, Minnesota, on a reservation. And I was outside shooting hoops, and my mom was inside cutting hair. And this guy stood up or didn't stand up right away, but he made a comment to my stepdad about sleeping with my mom. And then all of a sudden, I guess he stood up, pulled a gun out, and started shooting around in the room. So when I was outside, I could hear a couple of pops going off. Um, and then all of a sudden, I see all these people pulling out of the house, and this one native lady picked me up with one arm. I wasn't very big at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and runs with me like a football, and tosses me into my mom's Oldsmobile. And I just remember kind of looking up, looking back towards the house, and I see this native guy, shirtless, jean shorts, hiked up socks. I don't know why I remember all those details, but shoots the car tire out on the back side of the car that I'm on.
Yep.
And my mom or my stepdad, I think, was driving. My mom was in the passenger seat, and we drove on a rim on one pop tire.
Yeah, just to get the fuck
We ended
out
up
of there, pretty much, right?
we ended up getting pulled over. Sorry, some hands gesture thing popped up on my screen. I'm just gonna
Yeah, you're
that
good. Actually, real quick, sorry for the viewers, but I do have to make sure that this shit's going right, so we're not wasting all this time here. I think everything's working good though. So, anyway, where were you? You're driving on the
uh,
rim. You're just trying to get the fuck out of there. You know.
yeah, we get pulled over in front of the Palace Casino, and I remember my mom reaching back and handing me her crack pipe and having me stuff it under the seat of my car seat. I'm 7, 8 years old. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Just doing what I'm told so I don't get my ass whooped. And last thing I remember is that deputy giving me a sheriff sticker.
Yeah.
That's kind of where that memory ends.
Yeah.
I
That's like
mean,
one of like many too, you know what I mean? And just that, I mean, you being in the car seat, getting the crack pipe, putting it under, but also the car tire gets shot out on the side that you're on. Just like it's just that you know you can
yeah,
imagine, you know.
yeah, it's pretty wild, and I had no idea what any of this meant.
Yeah,
No idea.
and
I
for
just
you
know
to
that we were leaving.
yeah for you to turn out like how you turned out, like just a genuine good ass dude, like very caring, loving to your kids and stuff like that, and like just a loving dude in general to everybody that you're close with, you know. Like,
I mean, I think that the energy you give off is the energy you'll receive. You're
mm,
good to, as long as you're good to people, people be good to you.
and it's
Hopefully.
yeah, exactly, and it's very easy. A lot of people like that grow up in something similar to that. They take you could go two routes, and you had your fun and stuff, but you never went to hard drugs or anything like that. You never did anything like that,
You
and
know,
you stayed really grounded. You know, you didn't just go off the deep end or anything like that. Very
I'd say like
admirable for sure.
I, I appreciate it, bro, but a lot of things were trial and error, man. Growing up, I I grew up fearing law enforcement,
Yeah,
big time, big time. My parents being the way they are, driving with no license, no insurance. I lived out in the country, but they're always checking the blinds to see if anybody's outside. Just
yeah,
crazy paranoid shit. And then all the negative stuff you hear from them about law enforcement.
yep.
I never would have thought in a million years I'd be doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah,
I'm
because now
glad.
you are in the law enforcement business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just crazy, you know.
I mean, you don't have to follow, the footsteps that were created before you. Make
Hmm.
your own. That's all I can really say.
And
Um,
I think that's why you're like, because you do have a humorous side for sure, like natural kind of like comedy, comedian type of dude, you know? Very
yeah,
like leans on the perverted shit, but it's fucking hilarious too. And everybody just knows you. Like, I.
don't report me to HR.
But it is just so funny, dude. Like it, I think trauma like that shit does make somebody like just naturally funny, you know. And it's a
Yeah,
weird thing.
you gotta find. I mean, especially doing what I do for work. Like, I mean, sometimes dark humor is what gets you past shitty situations. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
just how you cope with things is by having dark humor.
Yep.
A lot of people probably wouldn't agree with that or understand
Yeah, the
like where
average
you're coming
person
from.
wouldn't, but I've heard stories and stuff about like from other people, first responders, you know, firemen and stuff like that. But they would tell me that it's not unusual to come to a crash site or something where there's a death and they're cracking
Mhm.
jokes and shit. But,
Yeah.
you know, like police officers and like first responders, all that kind of stuff, they see so much that we couldn't even like fathom as like just an average person out there living that it's just so like when you get a job you get very used to the whole thing, you get used to it's a job, you're there every day, you get used to every part of it, and that is something maybe you don't really get used to, but there is a point where it's like it's nothing new anymore at this point, you know.
There was a thing I read somewhere not too long ago. I don't know how true it is, but it had said that throughout the career of somebody in law enforcement sees, four times the amount of unusual things than somebody who goes to war or, and does a tour somewhere. That kind of struck me like, wow, I mean, if it's true, like,
That is.
that's pretty wild because everything you hear and see about people going to battle and stuff is just as crazy.
Yeah, I think I actually told you that when you came over a little while ago. Maybe I didn't
Hold
though, but I think I
I'm not
did.
sure.
Because I
Could have been
know
Mr.
that was in my
Baldwin.
head. It could have been Mr. Ballin. Maybe it's something like that. We both are a Mr. Ballin fan. If you guys don't know Mr. Ballin, go check him out. Best storyteller of all time.
For
Yeah,
that
ever.
is incredible.
He's
You
so
should
good.
probably hashtag him in this. Maybe
I
he'll
might have to.
yeah,
Maybe he'll hop on and be the guest, the next guest.
dude,
And
that
then
guy's
I'll
a
be like,
that
oh,
guy's
you
a
got to
total
hit
badass.
Zach's podcast too. You
Yeah,
know?
it's like if I'm coming on your show, Mr. Ball, and you have to come on mine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Man, the camera was
no,
so
man,
much
like I
clearer before, but what was that?
kind of the crazy stories and whatever you got to do to cope with whatever you're going through. Do it in a positive manner, man. The gym, therapy, talking to your friends, your family.
Mm-hmm.
Shit like that.
Yeah, you should reach out if you're going through a hard time. You should talk to somebody. Like I went to therapy when I was younger. Um, for, you know, I won't go into anything, but it has to do with some like my mom and dad getting divorced, and then the baggage that comes along with that, the other significant others and stuff like that. But I had to go to therapy, and at the time I really didn't know why. I was so young. I'm like, why am I going here? You know what I mean? And I didn't
Mm.
understand it, and the questions they would ask me, I just was so fucking bored. I was like, dude, get me out of here, you know?
Yeah. The thing is,
But
though, you gotta find a therapist that like I think works for you.
yeah,
Now,
well, they might
I'm
have been good. I was just too young to even
yeah,
understand why I was there. But nowadays, like, if I went to therapy, I would probably enjoy it more and um, actually
yeah, yeah,
know what to talk about, maybe. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
back then, I
And
really
yeah,
didn't.
at first, like with me, I don't just open up to anybody and everybody, but you got to feel them out. I think I went through a handful of them before I found one that, I don't go to therapy right now or anything, but I found one that seemed to be relatable and I felt like they listened, so I found one that worked for me. So
Mm,
just got to do some digging. You don't give up.
yeah, exactly. Um, let's see here. I had something written down. I want to see if it's
Your bank account number,
yeah, I
your social security card,
know.
because your computer is gonna crash soon, and I need your social security number to fix it.
Yeah, probably this thing. I need to get a new camera or something. I have no clue.
Yeah, is mine doing funny business? Because
No,
I didn't really.
yours looks good. You know, I maybe I should have used the iPhone and did that too, but this way I capture the whole thing and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and then we throw it on the YouTube and boom. You know, hopefully it's good and people like it. Let's see here.
yeah. So can I say things now and you're able to cut them out, or what?
I could cut them out, but I like if these people that watch my stuff, they know that I just raw dog these things and I don't really do that. I can do that, but I don't like the extra work because I'm lazy when it comes to that. So
Okay.
yeah. But if you want something cut out or something specific, I could probably do something or add a beep, like a beep, you know. But um,
No, it should be fine.
let's see here. In the meantime, is there anything that you would, any more stories or anything like that?
Any more stories?
Yeah.
What kind of stories do you want to hear?
Let's see. I've heard a lot of stories from you, but
Because you might remember stories that I don't have up in my brain right now, so you might have to refresh me, and that might.
that's the thing. I've heard so many, but let's see here.
I prefer non-work related though.
Yeah, we
If
won't
I
do
go,
work related. Hmm. Let's see here. How many schools did you go to growing up?
oh, dude, I
And which one was your favorite? Because it had to be Savika, you know what
it was
I
the
mean?
week.
Yeah.
Gosh, dude. All I know is I lived between the ages of like 8 and when I moved in with John's family when I was 14, I think. So between 8 and 14, my grandma had said I lived in like 46 homes, 48 homes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Um, and that's just because my mom, you know, unfortunately, is a substance abuser.
Mm-hmm.
But she had this, she had a strategy down, and I figured it out. I figured it out pretty early, but her strategy, as Minnesota has the cold winter rule where you can't evict anybody in the winter time.
Yep.
So say it's about to be winter time, my mom would find a place or rent a place, excuse me, would rent a place and then not pay rent throughout the winter because she knew she couldn't be kicked out.
Yep.
Um, Spring would come, she'd get evicted, we'd get evicted, and then we'd bounce around between a few different places, throughout the spring, summer, fall. So I probably go to two or three schools.
Not only that, but I think you said sometimes you guys would just leave most of your belongings behind and dip too, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that I don't think I actually like slept on a bed until I was about 13 or 14 years old, maybe.
Yeah,
I
that's
might have
just
had
so
one.
rough.
I might have had one when I was a really little kid, but
Mm-hmm.
we moved so frequently that half the time, we'd sleep on garbage bags of clothes, or sometimes we didn't have running water in the house, or very much food because my mom would sell her food stamps, because we were on that growing up. She'd sell her, and that's not to bash on anybody that's honest. People need it,
Yeah.
but
No, it's there to use. Like, if you really are in a situation and you're using it honestly and stuff, I don't see a problem with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you're
Yeah.
some people just are dealt really bad cards, but like if you're using
When
it
you
in the wrong way like that, that's kind of problematic, especially when you got kids and you're trying to, it's your responsibility to make sure they're eating and they're healthy and stuff like that.
right. Yeah. But yeah, so there was a time I believe my mom was, because she'd need drugs, but she never worked my whole life really. She would trade like, hey, I'll give you $300 in food stamps if you give me $150 and whatever she wanted,
Yep.
you know. Um, and she would do that shit with her food stamps. So there'd be times, you're getting close to the end of the month and you don't got food stamps. So it's, well, I'm gonna run over to grandma and grandpa's house.
Yeah.
You know, thankfully I had wonderful grandparents on
Yep.
my mom's side. Um, yeah, they saved us a lot growing up.
Yeah.
But after they're all gone now. But yeah, dude, I don't know what would have happened if they wouldn't have been around when they were.
Yeah. No, I'm so
Um,
thankful that you had somebody to go to anyway, you know.
yeah, for sure, dude. And some people don't even have that. So, in more ways, I was probably blessed than other people that were in my situation.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. I got to witness a little bit too of it, and I just could only imagine, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I could only imagine what the extent of it was. Not only that, it's not just like I went through it for like a couple months with you. Like, I couldn't imagine years. You know what I mean?
yeah, dude. That's when I because there's a lot of God, I'm just putting all my business out there, but I don't really care because I hope somebody can see.
Well, that's the
You
thing,
know,
dude. You sharing this is, first of all, it takes a lot of vulnerability, but I think when you lay this stuff out there, it's very valuable to a lot of people. If this makes it to, it could make it to even one person that might either be your age and live through a similar thing, and then they share that, like, hey, this guy is doing pretty well for himself and he went through this. But then if a younger person watches this, they might just, relate to it and know that the light is at the end of the tunnel. You just kind of,
100%, dude. That's exactly why I do what I do.
mm,
Um, but yeah, growing up, witnessed a lot of domestic abuse. My siblings' dad, I won't say any names, but my siblings' dad was a sex offender, turned out to be a sex offender. Um, Abused my mom pretty heavily. And then when my mom left him, she met another guy. He unfortunately was a substance abuser, alcohol abuser, and also domestic abuse as well. So I saw all that shit growing up, and moved a lot, and I never thought it would end. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, this is my fucking life now.
yeah,
But I finally got the courage. And I grew some hair on my nutsack and told my mom and my stepdad, either you're gonna let me move out, and this is when I decided to move to Sabika because I felt like that's where I probably fit in the most, and I thought if I'm gonna succeed, this is where I have probably the most support.
yeah.
I told him you're either gonna let me leave. Sorry, car music just go by.
That's
Uh,
fine. We can't hear it. At least I don't think we can. I couldn't. So
okay. Yeah, so I said either you're gonna let me leave or I'm gonna report everything you guys do to the cops. And she let me walk. I packed my shit up. I walked up the road. I called John's brother Joey. Joey came and picked me up in that little Ford Probe he had, the one
yep.
that had the little pop-up light.
Mm-hmm.
He came and picked me up, and the rest is history. 14 to 18, I lived in Sabika, met a lot of friends, you know, basketball, and graduated. I was the first person to graduate high school since Grandma Jan. I mean, Grandma Jan, since 1969. So
Damn.
2012, 1969 to 2012 is huge.
Yeah, I remember the first time. Like I don't remember. I didn't meet you, I guess, but the first I don't remember like seeing somebody for the first time. But I remember I just ate lunch, and I walk into the other gym to go shoot hoops, play some basketball, and I walk in and there's this kid with long hair, you know, and he's a lefty and he's pretty good form and all that, and he's just
Pretty good. Perfect form.
draining. Somebody was feeding him the ball, and he just kept swishing them, you know, like these little mid range or even close shots. But I was like, there's something there right there, you know. I was just like, holy fuck, I hope that this guy joins basketball this year or whatever. So,
Yeah.
and then you
That's that.
did, and then I was like, oh, I'm better than this kid.
Okay. There's the bench. Derek, go sit at the end of the bench.
Yeah, that's probably where you'd find me at some point, you
Yeah.
know.
His uncle was the coach.
Yeah, I know. I didn't get any crazy treatment, I don't think, though.
No,
I didn't.
you did not get any type of
A lot of
privilege.
people would say that, and it's like,
No, they did that to get under your skin.
I
That's all.
oh, I hit 6 threes this game because my uncle's the coach. Is that really what, you know?
That all just goes in because he's the coach.
Oh, yeah, it just goes in, you know?
Those fuck. You wouldn't be anywhere without the people who hate on you too.
Yeah, I know.
They feel the fire, and that's
They
okay.
do.
Not everybody's gonna like you. Not everybody's gonna like this.
Yeah. No, yeah,
I don't
exactly.
give a shit.
Me either. I don't care either. I just keep living and doing what I like to do. I do think growing up in a small town, I don't know why. A lot of people probably feel this way, but not everybody, of course. But I always felt like I had something to fucking prove, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why, but I always had that fucking feeling, you know? So that
Mm-hmm.
kind of like drove me in a weird way. And I was always delusional too, but I think delusion helps because I remember like when I first was like, I told somebody back then, I think I'm going to start rapping. They're like, don't do that. And they probably wanted to save me from embarrassment and shit.
How old were you when you started doing music?
um, 18, I think.
You was 18.
hmm
It wasn't something you were doing secretly in high school,
I wasn't doing
right?
it secretly. I always loved music and stuff. I did write, like, I played Call of Duty back in the day. I did write a Call of Duty rap that I showed people. The same person that told me I shouldn't start rapping is who I showed this to, and they were like, "That's actually not that bad," you know. But like, they actually meant it. It was actually decent, you know. And then I remember when I was younger too, I did
What was
make
your?
a rap too when I was really young, but it never went further than that, you know.
Do you remember your Call of Duty rap?
No,
Can
I
you spit
don't.
it right now?
I don't remember it at all. But no, I remember you're a big part of like the start of the music because I made the song called Drink Smoke Fuck and I showed you that and you were
God,
like,
now I see the shit that you bring up. It's like, oh
I
my
know,
god.
yeah. And I don't
Damn.
remember a lot of my songs, but I remember that one for sure just because it was my first one, you know. And at that time, very influenced by like Wiz Khalifa and shit. Me and you would always be on that fucking couch,
Ah,
YouTube on, watching freestyles and shit, you know.
yeah, it's about the time G-Eazy became a thing too.
That was a vibe.
Yeah, dude. God, that was a good time. But now look at us now in our fucking 30s.
Not to circle
I
back
got,
to the.
I can't crush a whole pizza anymore. One piece of pizza I have acid reflux, so I gotta take meds now.
Yeah.
I plucked the gray hair after my 32nd birthday.
I know, we're geezers.
My knees. Oh my god,
Yeah, you have
my
to have
back.
like another surgery on your knee. Actually, literally, your knees are fucked.
Yeah,
Um,
my knees are pretty. My left knee, I haven't had too many issues, but the right knee's it's done. I'll need a knee replacement probably by the time I'm 40, I'm sure. But
you know what songs are
yeah,
engraved in my head though? Not to circle back to the Carolina trip, but I remember we had one. Not only did we not have heat and shit, but there was no radio except for a CD player, and we had one CD. Do you remember that? And it
yes,
was a mix of like it had some Ray Shremmerd and shit like that on it. Like blow
oh
some
god,
smoke.
Ray Shremmer,
Yeah.
yeah, G-Eazy,
Had some G-Eazy on that.
uh, got a lot, yeah, there's
Got a
all
lot, a
kinds
lot, a
of.
lot of that.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, I would pay. I'd probably pay a couple $100 if somebody can find that CD and bring it to
Oh
me.
yeah,
I don't.
that's long gone, dude.
I can't
That
remember
was
that
still
thing.
probably in your your
Honestly,
tours
yeah. I
video.
don't. Now that I remember it, I don't think the CD would come out.
Yeah,
I think
probably. Yeah.
it was stuck in it.
That was freaking
Oh,
hilarious.
that shit was wild. I had such a great time and such a shitty time there.
Mm. Are you? I know you watch Kill Tony and stuff, but are you how big of a comedy fan are you? Do you got any favorites or anything like that?
I like that guy on Kill Tony, Cam Patterson.
Yeah.
He's like, I hate the R word, but he's like, I'm not retarded, but I like to collect rocks, and he pulls rocks out of his pocket.
I know he's actually so good, dude.
Oh, dude, that guy is so funny.
Mm. There's that
That guy.
what's his name? I can't remember, but if maybe you know who I'm talking about, the dude with he's a ginger or whatever.
Oh yeah, I love that podcast. Bobby Lee and Andrew
I don't know if
Santino.
it's I don't know if no, it's not him, but I know who you're talking
Oh,
about. No, it's a he actually got famous on Kill Tony. But he's like,
no,
he's
no,
kind of wild. He'll be like, "Is that right, Tony?" You know what I mean? I don't know.
no.
You'll see him when you if you go
Is that the
watch some
guy
Kill
you played
Tony.
when you were here?
Mm,
When you actually spent the night? Was that the guy you put on the TV?
no, I who did I put on then? I don't know. I guess I like if you've never seen Ari Shafir, you should put him on. I like
I watched
Tony Hinchcliffe, obviously. Um,
Bert
J-
Kirshner or whatever his name is.
Bert Kreischer, yeah, he's
Kirshner,
pretty
yeah.
good. Uh,
Theo Von is
Bill Burr,
hilarious. I love that
Theo
guy.
Von, one of my favorites.
And
Um,
what's my favorite strand of weed is cocaine.
yeah. I like when he's like he's on Joe Rogan, which he's a comedian too, and I love Joe Rogan podcast,
He's like the
greatest
jack of all.
podcaster of all time, huh?
He's the jack of all trades, Joe
Yeah,
Rogan.
yeah, he did Fear Factor, comedy, best podcast
Level
in the world, huh?
MMA.
MMA
Dude,
too. He was a fighter, and then he does like the what do you call him? He does the talking for the UFC fights,
commentator.
commentator. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, just jack of all trades. But him and Theo Von, they're sitting down talking, and Theo was like, "Yeah, I used to be pretty bad into cocaine and stuff like that." And Joe Rogan was like, "Well, you're really that guy though. You like whatever it is, you just go all out with it." And he's like, "Yeah, I like to be a peeping tom if I can. I'll watch your whole family eat dinner." I don't know,
Oh,
hilarious.
God, that's good. He's like something about one where he's just like my eyes they were just dried out or something like
Yeah,
that. When he was on cocaine.
yeah. Uh,
But
but
Bobby Lee
Bobby
and
Lee, I was just thinking that dude. He's
oh,
so funny. I like when he's like, you pretend to be my dad, and then Bobby. Oh yeah, those guys are so funny. What's it? There's a couple other good ones. Sam Morril is one of my favorite ones. He's like pretty known, but if you're
I don't
not
know
into
who that.
comedy, you probably don't really know him. Like if you're not deep into it, but he's pretty funny. And Sam Morril, and there's another one that's pretty good. Can't think of it though. I don't know. I watch a lot of it. I love comedy. Someday I would like to do stand up, but it is kind of nerve wracking because I couldn't imagine. Like, I performed on stage doing music, but that's different because you have everything memorized and you know what you got to do when you get up there. And not that comedians don't have it memorized, but if it doesn't make them laugh, then you just like you can bomb. You got like to be a
Just fucking
comedian, you have to go up
oh,
there and eat shit so many times and just bomb and bomb and bomb.
at least like with music, there's a background, beat to
Oh yeah, and the energy's already kind of there, and people are drinking and stuff. Like if you're not funny and they're not laughing, they're gonna be like, "Fuck, you suck," you know.
I would recommend because I've gone to a comedy show. Don't sit close to the stage because they will pick on you.
I know, I'd be
I
scared
see
of that
sure.
because I know they're gonna
Um,
burn the fuck out of me. But I actually kind of would love that, you know.
I went to the comedy club that's in the, I don't know what it's called. It might just be called Comedy Club inside Mall of America.
Yep.
And the guy that was performing, he was really funny. His name's Adrian Washington. He was telling stories about like him and Dave Chappelle. But like he roasted everybody at the table except for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just kind of tried to stay hidden because I know he was targeting our table.
Damn. So you just
It was
roasted
funny.
everybody?
It was funny watching him roast everybody else.
Yeah. And you're just like,
Oh,
oh, you're like, I'm next, I'm next, and then he
yeah,
never
dude,
hit you.
that was in my head. I was like, give me another drink before this happens.
You could probably take that as a compliment because, like, he's like, I don't know what to say about this guy. You know?
He's probably just scared of me. You know, it's
Mm.
okay.
No, someday we should definitely link up and go to a comedy show. Never been to one. Really love comedy. That's another
I'd
art
recommend
form, you
doing
know.
it. Cool, dude.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I'd rather if I go again be somebody that is either super funny or it's somebody that I grew up watching that I thought was hilarious. So like Adam Sandler, I would love to see him at least once.
Yeah. Did you watch Happy Gilmore too?
Yeah, I was. It was obviously it's nowhere near as good as the original, but
Yeah.
um, it's kind of cool to see him pay homage to all the actors and actresses that died since that movie film.
Oh yeah. That
That
was
was
real
kind of
cool.
like
And
that was
what's cool about Adam Sandler too is he just rolls with the same fucking crew the whole time. He got massively huge and like I remember, well, with the first Happy Gilmore, he wasn't that big yet. I don't think it was until like Billy
you know,
Madison came out that
he was already big because he was super popular in Saturday Night Live
yeah,
before that.
that's where he came up with David Spade and stuff like that, you know. But
Chris Farley.
not
Oh
even
my God,
close to
that
the
guy's
scale they're at. Yeah, Chris Farley, he's a legend,
yeah,
you know. He died from like an overdose, didn't he? Like I think it was
yeah, yeah,
cocaine.
yeah. He was
Cocaine
a
and hookers will do that to you.
yeah, and he was also I don't know if you know this, but he's buried in Madison, Wisconsin, because I think that's where he's from.
Really?
Chris Farley, yeah, he's from the Midwest. But he was a huge fan of John Belushi and kind of followed a similar lifestyle.
Who's John Belushi?
The guy from the Animal House,
Oh,
you know what I'm
really?
talking about?
I think
Yeah,
so. Like the man guy?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He's kind of like a chubby dude with dark hair, kind of loud and belligerent, but funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a huge. He liked drugs. Let's put it that way, I guess. He
uh,
also died from an overdose.
yeah. I don't blame him, but just don't get too carried away, which I could see, like, if you have that personality type where you go hard with it, things like that, which I do to an extent, but, like, I'm sure the pressure of, like, fame and stuff, like, makes it even worse, and I don't know. You know, I could never really understand that, but
You know, some people would do it behind closed doors. You just never know. You
yeah,
never knew.
yep. Well, do you have anything that you would like to say, and would you like to plug your podcast? Because I think
Yeah.
we'll end it here, but we're gonna have a part two because I think this was a pretty good episode. I'm hoping everything worked out good, like with all this stuff. You know, hopefully the audio is right. Hopefully, yeah. You know, it's at least watchable. I think it will be.
Oh,
But
yeah,
we're gonna
dude.
do a part two, and I'm gonna come hit your podcast. But the reason we haven't did that yet is because we want to do that in person. You know,
Right here. Right
huh?
in my man cave, which is my
Yep,
garage.
right here. Peep that John Lennon picture. That's hand drawn, by the way.
Yeah, can you even see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Because when I blew my screen up, so you filled my screen, it went away. So I didn't know if it was how it was on yours.
Wait, that's him right there, the New York City one, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's it. So yeah,
Yeah.
when I'm looking at my screen, all I see is this picture. That's as far as it goes.
Oh,
And
really?
then with the Kobe one, I see half of the Kobe plaque.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
with how I'm like how Discord's doing it right now, it's actually capturing more. So it's a sick background, dude. You know.
Thanks, dude. I want to add more to it. I got some wolf slapsticks over there that kept falling on. Ideally, I'd like to take a lot of this down and then get some framed jerseys put up in here. I mean, this one above me is Adam Thielen signed helmet, and then
Yeah.
above that is Justin Jefferson signed catch of the year against the Bills.
Yeah, that's sweet. That guy's an animal.
Dude, I'm so ready for fantasy football, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say check out my podcast. It's new. I got like an episode and a half out.
But still worth the check out, and then
working on my personality, so don't give up on me.
I think you did great, you know.
Thanks, dude. Well, I'm talking about on mine. It's a little nerve-wracking.
Oh.
You set your phone up, and it's like, God, the whole world's watching me right now. You know what I mean? I don't know if you get that feeling, but that's my anxiety.
Everybody does. I think when you're putting yourself out there on the camera, it just is always, man, I hate my camera, by the way. But I think when you're putting yourself out there, you're just going to feel naked. You know what I mean? It's something different. It's not, you got to be used to it. I'm not really used to it still, but better than I was day one, you know?
Good. No, but before we go, maybe just, check out the podcast. It's called Talking in Circles. On top of that, if you have mental health issues, you're looking for therapy, don't give up. You know, push them forward. Today might seem like the worst day of your life, but it'll end. You'll find some way to. I'm sorry, I'm focused on what Derek's doing.
Yeah, sorry.
He's seeing on his screen. He's going to see a therapist soon, I promise. But no, don't give up, man.
And another thing is, since we both do this, if there's anybody out there that has like a unique story or something and always wanted to be on a podcast, maybe you could hop on Zacks or you could hop on mine. I don't really have a podcast.
If you have questions, I'm happy. I'm more than happy to answer them. Anybody, that's liking and subscribing or whatever.
Yep. And make sure you guys do subscribe too. Subscribe to this one and Zacks if you go over there. Hopefully you do. Talking in Circles. Say that again. It's pretty easy to find on YouTube, right?
No.
No?
You got to type in Talking in Circles and then my name, Zack Sorenson.
Okay.
That's how I've had to find it.
Yeah, that's how you kind of have to start. For one, like, Derek Rise is so close to Derek Rose that Derek Rose is everywhere. It thinks I'm doing a typo every
Derek
time.
Rose? I don't know Derek Rose.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, though, when I first started making music again, the second time that I'm doing it, I would go to my Alexa and be like, hey, Alexa, play Derek Rise. And she would be like, pretty much like, who? And it would just go to some random other Derek and play that music. Now I say it, and all of a sudden it knows who I'm talking about. It's so sick, So we're going to keep moving. So hopefully both of our little things just keep growing and the quality gets better.
It's a good hobby, and I think it's something we both are passionate about. Like I said, your mental health is everything.
Yeah. And it's fun, too. I think it's fun.
It's fun. Life is a beautiful thing, man.
Me and you have these conversations all the time when we hang out and stuff, but doing it on camera and sharing it with people is kind of cool, too,
Yeah, it is, man. It makes you feel vulnerable.
I know.
And you are vulnerable. You have people, saying, as long as you can touch one person's life, I think it makes all the difference.
Yeah, if I touch one person's life and 30 people hate, I don't care,
Yeah, as many people can hate, but if I can touch one life and change it or help you or, do what I can to make you laugh or make you feel heard, that's what it's all about, man.
Yep. All right, well, Zach, I love you.
I love you.
And take it easy.
Did you put that in your pants, you sicko?
Not in my pants. But close, too. I was saving it for later,
Save for later. Give it to Ashley.
I will.
Let her marinate for a little bit.
All right. Bye, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed. Right. It was such a fun time. This is my brother. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment. And hell yeah.
Since a youngin', been marching to my own beat. I'm lit at the function. Don't wanna make a fool of myself, I must retreat. Indeed, I'm a minimalist but so sleek. Ventriloquist puppets and sheep. Just a couple things I don't really need. I'm in my zone, please leave me alone. I'm in my zone. but it's just you. I don't really give a fuck no more. I'm looking around, there's no clues.